Hi guys. I decided to do kind of an impromptu late night Arthritis Ashley Facebook Live chat. I do not have a topic planned, but I figured instead of just scrolling through Facebook and Twitter that I would hop on here and actually try to have a conversation with you guys if anyone's on and if anybody wanted to chat. So here I am. I'm online and I am here to answer questions or comments regardless of what they are, what the topic is. I am here to chat. So I thought it might be fun to just come on and hang with you guys for a little bit instead of just, you know, perusing Facebook and Twitter and scrolling aimlessly through Instagram. So I'd rather talk with you all. So if you're there, I hope you will say hi and join in my chat. So leave me a comment to let me know that you're listening, and feel free to ask me any questions or just leave me a comment. I am always happy to answer any questions or respond to any comments. So hopefully you guys will have some. If not, I'll kind of just talk for a little bit and hope that some of you join in. Let's see, what can I talk about? Well, while I wait for you guys to join in, I will just talk about my day, I guess. Today I had one of those days where I had a million things to do and I was busy the whole day, yet I basically got nothing done that I actually wanted to do. So a little frustrating there, but it was a good day. I basically ran some errands, responded to a bunch of emails. I went and watched my husband climb. He climbs at an indoor rock climbing facility. So I got to go there with him, and then we went and got some dinner together and grabbed a coffee together. So that was nice. Mostly I spent the day catching up on emails. I went and let my mom's dogs out for her. Went to my eye doctor. I'm trying to decide if I want to get prescription sunglasses or not, and if I want to get a new pair of glasses or not. I have to confess, I have about 4 pairs of eyeglasses already, but I kind of look at them as an accessory, and I do wear them a lot, so I don't really feel that guilty buying them. A lot of times I will use our flex spending account, well, obviously not all of it, but part of it, to get a new pair of frames every year. But this year I'm deciding if I want to do that or I want to do prescription sunglasses. I, for whatever reason, have been having a lot of trouble with my eyes lately. This started back maybe in, I want to say, November or so. Now my eyes are bothering me since I'm talking about them. I do have Sjogren's syndrome, so that has affected my eyes a little bit, and I have a history of uveitis and iritis, which often come along with rheumatoid arthritis, and especially juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, which is what I technically have. And I have something called bullseye maculopathy. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of maculopathy, but basically I have a blind spot in both of my eyes that affects my peripheral vision. It's not bad enough that it really affects my life too much on a day-to-day basis. I'm allowed to drive and everything. It's not that bad. The hope is that it doesn't ever get any worse. It's caused, for me, it was caused by Plaquenil. I think that's pretty much the main cause of it, Plaquenil and similar anti-malarial drugs. And so I have a lot of eye issues. Luckily, though, they're nothing terrible. So I'm really thankful for that. But yeah, I spend a lot on glasses and contacts and stuff just to make my eyes comfortable. So I've been trying out new eye drops, eye lubricant gel, things like that. And currently I'm on an antibiotic eye drop because I have some kind of cyst or benign tumor type thing in my tear duct that may or may not be infected, so that's been fun to deal with, and I'm being sarcastic there. So that was my day. Eye doctor, dogs, emails, and quality time with the husband. Hold on one second, I want to put my hair up, but I'm holding my iPad, so it's kind of hard to do. Yeah, I let my hair air dry today, so it's a little bit on the messy side. So just excuse that. You get to see nighttime me, which isn't that different from daytime me, but a little bit less put together. Yeah, so, oh, Donna said she has eye issues as well. Yeah, Donna, I don't know if you have RA or lupus or Sjogren's, but yeah, eye issues come along with a lot of these conditions, and that's something that like a lot of people don't realize, and people are sometimes surprised when I mention that, oh, I have eye issues or I have hearing issues, or, you know, heart arrhythmia, you know, all these weird things that may or may not be related to autoimmunity, but certainly are related to many chronic illnesses. Oh, so you have RA and Sjogren's also. Yeah, I think a lot of us are in that boat, and unfortunately Sjogren's isn't taken as seriously as it should be. It can really have a lot of symptoms and side effects that I don't think people are aware of. And like for me, RA, JIA are the primary diagnoses, but Sjogren's is secondary to that, but it still, you know, causes a lot of problems. But that said, I haven't had a ton of problems with my eyes until recently. I have thought about getting LASIK, but I know that's only going to help certain issues, not all of them, and I don't mind wearing glasses. I like to accessorize with them, and I don't spend a lot of money on my clothes or makeup or hair products. However, when it comes to my eyewear and my purses, I do splurge, and I do like to get my hair done. Obviously, it needs done because it looks like a hot mess today, but yeah, I wear the glasses, and I don't think I'll ever do the LASIK, but I am prepared to have eye issues moving forward. I know that that sometimes comes with the territory. Oh, you have diabetes as well, so you've hit the, I was going to say trifecta, but with fibro in there too. I don't know, you've hit the, whatever the word would be for 4 instead of trifecta. I feel ya. It's kind of funny, but not. My book, Sick Idiot, in the intro, I list all of the things I've been diagnosed with up until the point of when I published Sick Idiot, and it's like ridiculous. There's been several dozen things, which sounds like an exaggeration, but it's not. And as so many of you know, that's the case for so many of us that live, you know, with these kinds of illnesses. So anyway, yeah, I got the mother load too, Donna. It's kind of funny because the local newspaper did a review of my book, Sick Idiot, and she kind of talks about that in the book review. Like it almost sounds, you know, unbelievable how many different conditions some of us live with. And unfortunately, it's the truth. I mean, it sounds unbelievable, but it's true. So I can certainly relate to that. And actually, I've talked about it on here a lot before, but that's kind of like part of what we're doing in my work with the autoimmune registry, is trying to establish the prevalence of all these conditions and find out sort of which autoimmune diseases are related, and which ones tend to overlap more, and really how many people are affected by autoimmune illness. So if any of you want to check that out, it's free, it's safe, it's secure, it's super simple and easy. It is a nonprofit, and basically you answer a short survey about your symptoms and the different diagnoses that you've been given. Oh, Vicky said, like the glasses you're wearing. Thank you. Like I said, I have about 4 pairs. Maybe 5. I collect, I collect a lot of things, but fashion-wise, my money goes to glasses and purses. I don't spend a ton on shoes or clothing. makeup really, or things like that. I get my hair done. I spend money on glasses and eyewear, and I spend money on purses, and I don't feel guilty spending the money on glasses because I wear them all the time. But thank you. These ones are Michael Kors. And luckily my Health Flex spending plan helped pay for those. So actually that means my husband helped pay for those. So I'm really grateful. Yeah. So what was I talking about? Yeah, the autoimmune registry. Those of you that have one or more autoimmune diseases, please sign up. It's really going to be great. We're going to try to use the data that we collect to really benefit autoimmune research in the autoimmune community. You can read about it on my blog, arthritisashley.com, or on my website, abshuck.com. That's abshuck.com, or just visit autoimmuneregistry.org. Like I said, we have a lot of different things that we are really trying to figure out. So like Donna and myself and Ashley Smith, who just commented, so many of us have so many overlapping conditions. And if you don't mind, if you share that information with the autoimmune registry, our goal is to have it eventually be accessible to researchers or pharma or whoever can use that in order to make progress in the areas of autoimmune disease research and autoimmune disease prevalence. So it's safe, secure. We won't give away personal identifying information without your permission. It is a nonprofit, so go check it out, autoimmuneregistry.org. What we're trying to do is use the info you give us for good, and I should say for the greater good for the autoimmune community. So please check that out. Let's hear from some more of you. I see that there are some of you tuning in, so if anyone has any questions or comments, I'd be happy to respond. So far I've just been rambling about my eyes and my eyeglasses and my day and the autoimmune registry, so if there's anything else you want to talk about, I am more than happy to discuss whatever or answer whatever. Oh, and if you hear any weird noises in the background, that's my pug. For those of you who are familiar with pugs, they like to make weird sounds, and they do a lot of snorting, and you probably can hear her now. Snorting, grunting, groaning, snoring. Pugs are strange creatures. My other two dogs are sleeping in a different area, so you shouldn't hear them, but I apologize if you hear Maggie. So Ken said, I was reading today about people falling a lot. That seems to be my problem lately, like just falling, not necessarily over anything, just falling. Ken, I would suggest, and I, need to preface this by saying that I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, but I would consult your doctor about this. This could be caused by a lot of things. It could be related to your medications that you're on. A lot of these meds can cause dizziness, vertigo, possibly a lack of balance, lack of coordination, drops in blood pressure, fainting, things like that. So it could be a medication. It could be a neurological issue. Some neurological issues come along with autoimmune and musculoskeletal conditions. It can be dehydration. It can be autonomic nervous system issues. I would say to consult your doctor. Sometimes things like this are random. I have had times where I have fainted or fallen or had lots of vertigo. Or vasovagal syncope, which is fainting or near fainting. So I know stuff like that can happen. In your case, you would want to have a doctor, probably a neurologist, evaluate you to see if it is, a neurological issue, a balance issue, a weakness issue. You may need physical therapy. You may need your medications tweaked. But be careful. It sounds really silly and really, I don't mean to sound at all patronizing or condescending when I say this, but use railings, use handles, hold on to things. we moved into a house that was older. It is older. When we bought it, it had belonged to an elderly person before us, and she has grab bars and everything, had grab bars and everything in the bathtub and shower. And I'm not ashamed to say that sometimes I have to use them when I'm getting up out of the tub and things like that. And I rarely, if ever, go up or down steps without holding a railing. It can be really scary to fall if you already have bone, joint, and muscle conditions, pain, or deformities. So just be careful. I know that sounds, I'm not trying to sound like your mother or your doctor, but yeah, be careful and definitely have that checked out if you're falling a lot, because that's not normal. And it could be something relatively minor, like from a medication, just a side effect. But if you're having weakness or trouble walking or keeping your balance or you're losing strength, I would definitely get that checked out. It could be something minor, but it could be something serious. So just make sure you look into it and make sure you exercise caution. Hi, Ashley. Ashley Smith said, I have a random question. I have my cartilage pierced from my migraines. It's been infected 3 times and my doctors all want me to take it out. I know you have yours done. Have you had any issues with yours? So Ashley, what Ashley's talking about, guys, is, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on what it's called. A daith piercing. So I don't have it in right now, but it's right here. Or I'm sorry, no, it's inside the ear. You can Google it. Daith piercing, D-A-I-T-H. I had both daith. I had both of them done, and yeah, thank you. And one of mine, my body just kind of rejected it. It wasn't infected per se, but I could tell that it just wasn't comfortable. I could tell that it maybe was on its way to possibly being infected, or not even infected, but it was just kind of like itchy and uncomfortable, and I just didn't like it. The other one was fine. It worked wonders. I loved it. Unfortunately, I took it out because I was having a brain and neck MRI done, and I was told that I had to remove it by the MRI tech. Only to find out after the fact from a friend that because it was likely surgical grade steel, I actually didn't have to remove it. That is not what the MRI technician told me though, so I took it out and the hole closed up. So I no longer have my daith piercings, Ashley, but I never really had too much of an issue with piercings or tattoos getting infected, knock on wood. I have a ton of I have no piercings now besides my ears, but in my lifetime I have had a ton of piercings in my ears, body piercings, things like that. And I used to have my eyebrow pierced, belly button, everything, million things in my ears. I used to have the industrial cartilage, tragus, daith, tons of regular cartilage piercings. Never really had an issue. That said, anyone that's on the types of medications that we take for RA should exercise caution when getting piercings or tattoos or any other kind of body modification, just because we're more prone to infection and our bodies could have a harder time fighting infection. So, a lot of the more conservative doctors are not a fan of tattoos and piercings. At this point, I have 7 tattoos and I've had a ton of piercings, and my rheumatologist knows that I know the risks, and I'm going to live my life. And if I want to get a tattoo or a piercing, I'm going to do it within reason. And I'm just going to be very careful. I know that I have to take extra care of things, and I know that I am at a higher risk for certain things. But, I could get an infection eating dinner at a restaurant or going to the mall. Just yesterday I was at the movies with my mom and grandma, and everybody was coughing, and I have to admit I had a little bit of anxiety because I just started Remicade and Imuran again, so I'm a little bit immunosuppressed, and I'm sitting there at the movies like unable to concentrate on the movie because I'm so worried that I'm going to get sick. So it's like, yeah, you do risk, getting piercings or things like that, but you're taking a risk even going in public sometimes when you have these diseases. So, You have to live your life. Of course, if something does become infected, then by all means take it out. As soon as I knew that my one Dayth piercing was bugging me, I removed it immediately. I am disappointed that I removed the other one because of misinformation. I wish I still had it in because I do think it helped with my migraines a little bit. Now, there's mixed research on whether or not that's true, or it's kind of like a modern day old wives' tale, but everyone that I've talked to that got the Dayth piercings for their migraines seemed like they really liked it, so I might get it redone at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, just like anything, it's, I mean, common sense. You know, you have to take your doctor's advice into consideration, but they're not God, and they're not you, and they're not in control of your life. So just exercise caution and use common sense and rationale and logic, and weigh the risk and the benefit of anything, whether that is a medication, a supplement, or a piercing. So I would say that if you know, if your Dayth piercing's giving you trouble, maybe take it out. If you don't want to take it out, then maybe ask your doctor, like, what can you do? If you're not willing to remove it, what are your options? Maybe he'll give you an antibiotic ointment or something like that. You know, sometimes just because it's healing slowly doesn't mean anything is wrong. It just means it's healing slowly. So I don't know how much time you've given it, but I don't know. You know, you can always seek second opinions too. And around here, I mean, you know, I live not in a city, but I live near a city, and it's a pretty, I want to say, in some ways, some parts of the city, I should say, are kind of on the progressive side. So they don't really bat an eyelash when a patient like me has piercings and tattoos. It is what it is. But just be smart, you know, just be smart. You don't want to risk a terrible infection because of a piercing that may or may not help a migraine. That's my advice. And when I say that, I'm not saying not to get it done, because I've obviously had it done. But if it's infected, you don't want to run that risk of that infection getting worse. That's just my opinion. But just exercise caution, be smart. Trust your own judgment and listen to your gut. It's always your call. You know, the doctors give advice and they know what's best in some situations, but in other situations they're guessing. And their guess is as good as yours is. So be smart. We all know that when we're on biologic drugs, DMARDs, immunosuppressants, and steroids, chemo drugs, whatever else, we know that we're at more risk for infection, so just be careful. Like I said, and like Ken mentioned, I mean, this time of year you can get sick anywhere you go. I mean, the stomach flu is going around here. Everyone seems to have a cough. I am terrified sometimes to be at a restaurant or at a movie theater, so it is what it is. I don't know if a tattoo or a piercing that my doctor disapproves of because he's conservative is... I don't know if that's going to be the thing that, you know, is that's going to do me in. So, you know, just be smart, be careful, take good care of it if you're going to get a piercing or a tattoo. Yeah, and guys, what we're talking about, by the way, is a Dayth piercing. I had 2 of them. I took one out because my body rejected it. The other one I took out because of bad information from an MRI tech, but... if you want to Google it, it's D-A-I-T-H, Dayth piercings for migraine. And I don't have it in right now, but I'll post a picture of it later if you want to see. Okay, so, sorry, I'm trying to scroll back through the questions. Okay, so Ken, Ashley, okay, Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Yeah, it's hard with the eye issues. Like I said, I've had a lot of them myself, and I know that they can be tough, and just gotta keep up on those eye issues because you do not want to mess with your eyes. Yeah, just, and you know what, Vicky, this is really weird, but I didn't even know that I had something wrong with my tear duct, and I went to, like, a Med Express urgent care type clinic, and actually that doctor's the one who discovered it. My eye doctor hadn't even noticed it when I went in like a month ago, but now that this doctor had pointed it out to me, I can actually feel it, and I'm going to get further evaluation on it, as well as getting my prescription sunglasses. So just take care of those eyeballs. Yeah, that's not fun. Oh my goodness. Ken said he fell down a flight of stairs on vacation, and the other night fell in the bathroom in the middle of the night and knocked himself out. That's certainly not good. It's always scary when you fall and you have these conditions. I fell last week also onto my wrist. But my dog has knocked me down the stairs. I've fallen down the stairs on my own. I've slipped on ice in the driveway. It's never fun. You have to be careful, because a lot of people that have RA and other musculoskeletal conditions can also have osteopenia or osteoporosis. And so your bones can be a little bit more fragile, and it is hard to heal when you have rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis. So, be careful with that. Yeah, I don't know really what other advice to give. If you feel that your falling is because of balance type issues, I would see a neurologist. If you feel that it's because of strength or mobility type issues, I would see a physical therapist. But again, I'm not a doctor. That's just my opinion. Brandy sitting on a shower chair. I can't talk. Brandy said she was sitting on a shower chair and fell out of it a few weeks ago. Well, that's not good either. Sometimes I think when you're in the shower or a bathtub that the heat can kind of make you a little lightheaded too. So I think sometimes maybe it's a slipping thing, but sometimes I think it's a low blood pressure from it being so hot, and then your heart rate elevates, and then your blood flow is all out of whack, and that can make you lightheaded. So just be careful, guys. Sorry, I'm just scrolling down. Yeah, lots of talk about sick people being everywhere. Yeah, piercings, tattoos. Oh, Ashley, that's amazing. So Ashley said she hasn't had one migraine since she got her Dayth piercing, and she used to get 3 a week. I was kind of the same. So, my Dayth helped greatly, but like I said, I had to take them both out. I think I want to get it redone. For those of you who don't know, I am a chronic migraine sufferer. The definition of chronic migraine means you get 15 or more a month, I think, or I think 15 or more days that you're affected by headache per month. I'm not sure the exact definition. All I know is I get them all the time, and I get the systemic type migraines, and it's very cyclical, so I get stuck in a migraine cycle and it's hard to get out of it. They've improved greatly since I started the Botox for migraine, which I get every 90 days. So I do Botox for migraine. I use Relpax or Zomig as my rescue kind of meds for migraine. I had the Dayth piercings that I probably will get redone. And then also, what else have I done? Well, I use doTERRA Past Tense for migraines and Deep Blue Rub. And the Cephally headband. So those are my migraine kind of go-tos. But yeah, if you guys have any other migraine advice, I would love to hear it, and I'm sure others like Ashley Smith would love to hear it. Brandy asked if I have intracranial hypertension in addition to Chiari. No, I don't. For those of you who don't know, I have Chiari malformation, Chiari, if you want to Google it, and it's Arnold Chiari malformation, not Bud Chiari. They're two different conditions. I had a duroplasty and laminectomy decompression surgery in 2011. That's brain surgery, to put it in layman's terms, brain and neck surgery. I had that in 2011, and what can come along with Chiari that Brandy's asking about is intracranial hypertension. I don't have that I know of. It has seemed that my CSF, which is my cerebral spinal fluid, has been pretty well controlled. The flow of it's been pretty well controlled. But I do get really bad migraines. And so there have been times where they've thought maybe that somehow that was related, but I have not been formally diagnosed with IC. And in fact, in general, my blood pressure, and I know this is different from the intracranial pressure specifically, but I do have low blood pressure, or actually it's right now, thank God, and I hope it stays this way, it's in the normal range, but I have POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, an autonomic nervous system condition. So my blood pressure drops real low, and then my heart rate goes up pretty high. So there was a period of time that for a long time my body wasn't regulating my blood pressure and cardiovascular system properly, and that did lead to some heart rate issues, a heart arrhythmia, and neurological problems. But it seems like my CSF has been good, Brandy. There was a time. Sorry, my hair is a hot mess today, and I'm not even trying to look nice for you guys. I apologize. I'm not disrespecting you all, but I don't have the energy to deal with my hair right now. Anyway, there was a time, Brandy, that I went into the emergency room. That's how bad my migraine was, and they were kind of worried that it was something else. Like they were going to do a spinal tap, possibly, to make sure it wasn't meningitis or anything like that. And also just to check CSF. But as far as it goes normally, I think it's good. There is sometimes on my brain CT scans a little bit of fluid buildup where I had my brain and neck surgery for the Chiari. So they resected my C1. So sometimes CSF builds up there, the fluid builds up there. But I think the pressure has been good. It's looked good on MRIs and CTs, thank God. I hope it stays that way because that was a really scary experience to go through, the whole Chiari thing. And it's going on 6 years since I had the surgery. So knock on wood, a lot of the Chiari and POTS related issues have pretty much resolved. So I'm just scrolling through comments again. Thank you all for your input. Stacy, I'm sorry, can you clarify, hun, what you said? Another says it burns itself out. Do you know of this? What it's hard for me sometimes to keep up on all the comments live. What are you referring to? If you're still on, if you could clarify so I can answer your question. Do you mean that the Daith piercing burns itself out, or I don't know. I just wanted to clarify so that I can answer your question properly. In the meantime, does anyone else have a question or a comment for me? Because I would love to answer them. I'm sorry that I'm like so awkward today, but I usually do these on my iPhone, and it's a little easier. I'm holding up my iPad, and it's kind of like hard to position. I have a tripod for my iPhone, but it's downstairs, and I don't really know where to set this to make it easier on myself. Here, maybe I'll try this. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this a little bit easier here, guys. Just give me 1 second. This might, okay, there. Okay. Well, that's a little bit better. Now I don't have to hold my arms out like a weirdo. Okay, so I'm waiting for more questions and comments. Stacy, I will answer your question as soon as I better understand what it is. And I'm not being rude. That's no offense to you. I guess I wasn't keeping up with them live. Sorry, I'm just getting repositioned. Okay. Sorry, clearing off a notification there. Okay. Stacy said, my question was regarding thyroid. Okay, I'm sorry. I must have missed your question. Stacy said, my question was regarding thyroid. I have Graves, autoimmune, I believe. My levels are normal range, but I've read that once you have Graves, you always have it. Others say it burns out. I also have Chiari. I can never say that word even though I've had it. Chiari syringomyelia. I'm so sorry, I butchered that word. OA, scoliosis, osteopenia. Okay. So, Stacy, very interesting because we have similar backgrounds. I I was diagnosed in high school with Graves' disease. For those of you that don't know, that's a thyroid condition, and I think it's when your thyroid's overactive. Am I right? I think it's overactive thyroid. So I was diagnosed with it by just like a general practitioner, you know, PCP, when I was in high school, and I never really got treatment for it or anything. Sorry. And it kind of, what you said about burning itself out, I don't know if that technically happens, but I feel like maybe that happened for me, because after that, my thyroid levels kind of just stabilized through most of college and everything like that. And then, though, in about 2012, I'm sorry, I'm still trying to get comfortable here. In 2012, I was told by a translational rheumatologist who I saw in DC that I had, sorry, I'm trying to get this right, guys. So much better. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see okay. Okay, so where was I? So Graves' disease diagnosis in high school, went away, all my thyroid stuff readjusted itself, didn't go on medications or anything. Then when I was having all this stuff with the postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome and the high heart rate and all these weird reactions to biologics in 2012, my translational rheumatologist in Washington, D.C. diagnosed me with a borderline thyroid. So technically, my levels were normal, but they were borderline, so he actually put me on a really low dose of T3. Hold on, this is like upside down. I swear, I'm usually not this incompetent, but I usually have a tripod, and I usually am on my iPhone. So not only do I not have a tripod, I'm trying to get my my iPad set up to where I'm comfortable, and okay. So, so I was put on T3 thyroid hormone, and then it kind of regulated itself again. But then this past year, I had nodules on my thyroid that they suspected could be malignant. I had several biopsies, and I was going to actually have my thyroid completely removed. So anyway, all this other testing confirmed that I didn't need to go forward with that step yet, and my thyroid is kind of back to normal. So I guess my answer to your question, Stacy, is I don't know. The thyroid situation is really weird because, like you know, you said you thought you maybe had autoimmune Graves, your levels were normal. I just don't know. It seemed like for me, my thyroid has kind of like gone up and down, normal, abnormal, and kind of evened itself out. But then I have this weird nodule, and we don't know what that is. And the thyroid is such a mystery. So I would advise just keeping an eye on the thyroid, doing a wait and watch approach if you have a nodule, continually getting your thyroid levels checked and tested. And if they're continuously out of range or abnormal, you want to get that looked at and get medicated. But I really think that a lot of thyroid stuff can be managed naturally if you're not formally diagnosed with like Graves' disease or Hashimoto's thyroiditis or anything like that. Of course, you need to pay attention to what your doctors are saying. Thyroid issues can be serious, but they also can be very manageable and can sometimes self-adjust. So just like everything, like I was saying before, use caution, listen to your doctors, be aware, and just keep up on everything. Keep up on your doctor's appointments, keep up on your labs, know what you're putting into your body, listen to what your doctors are saying, but also listen to your instincts and use common sense, and always weigh the pros and cons with any treatment, any doctor, anything like that. So I wish you the best of luck. Interesting to have another, you also had Chiari. I haven't met a lot of people that have had Chiari. Stacy, did you have I'll read the other questions and come back to you, but did you have the surgery for Chiari? And if you did, I'd like to hear how that went for you, because I've heard a lot of mixed things about it. And I have osteopenia as well and mild scoliosis, Stacy, so we have a lot in common. Hi, Michael. How are you doing? Yes. Michael asked if the weather, Michael's from my area, and he asked if the weather changed from cold to warm rapidly like we've been having recently affects my arthritis. Yes, my God, yes. It really does. I told my husband this tonight because he was at the climbing wall, which is an indoor climbing facility, and I was there just watching him and filming him and stuff, and whenever we left, he's like, oh, this weather's so great, you know, I'd take rain and 62 degrees over snow any day. And I said, not me, because I know that it's not going to last, and these rapid fluctuations in weather are terrible on my body. I've just been in so much pain this winter because it's not terribly cold, but it's shifting so frequently and so rapidly. To put this in perspective, what Michael and I are both talking about is, you know, and I don't have the exact dates, but say like last week there was a day, I think that it was like 10 degrees was like the high, and then the next day, or not the next day, but just a few days later, it's like 60 degrees. I mean, that is a huge change in temperature, and for people that are prone to having chronic pain or migraines or, you know, conditions like RA or OA, that is terrible. At least for me it is. I know there's lots of other people who can relate. The weather has a huge impact on me with my RA and my migraines, and my I have mild dystonia, which is basically chronic muscle spasms, and in my case is very mild, but it's very painful. And so I've been in a ton of pain, and I've been doing my best to not complain about that pain, but man, I went to the movies yesterday with my mom and my grandma, and I just was in so much pain. I could not get comfortable. I was really silently suffering the whole time. My body felt like it was just screaming in pain, and a lot of it is definitely because of this weather. So Michael, I don't know if it affects you, but it certainly affects me. I mean, I hate to, you know, say things like, oh, it's killing me, you know, but it's just, it's been so difficult. It really, really, really has. And I'm glad that I can talk to you guys about it, because, you know, a lot of people think that if you're talking about your reality of being sick or in pain, that you're being negative, and it's just your life, and it's just your reality and your existence, and it's not being negative, it's just being real, and that's how you feel. And unless somebody lives with pain and sickness every day and is going to live probably with pain and sickness every day for the rest of their life, they can't understand it, and I wouldn't wish it upon anybody, but you guys totally get it, man. Michael, yeah, you said it does. No, you're not the only one. Trust me, man. I've been having such a hard time. I really, really have. And I think we've had an open discussion before. You know, I don't love taking opiates or narcotics, but I do not judge anyone who does. I have my reasons that I really don't. And last week there was a night that I was beating myself up for not having some on hand, because I was just, you know, there's a meme that goes around with Amy Poehler from Parks and Rec. It was an episode where she had the flu or something. She's so funny. And it's her as her Leslie Knope character. And it says, everything hurts and I'm dying. And now there's a bunch of workout shirts that say everything hurts and I'm dying. And yeah, that's kind of how I felt last week. And I was sort of kicking myself for, like, it's one thing to not want to take opiates or narcotics every day and to be against overusing or abusing painkillers, but like why I wouldn't have them on hand. I was like, what? How stupid. Like, you know, in my one book, I talk about just having like a sick idiot moment. That was one of them. Like, I was kind of mad at myself because it's been really tough and I needed something and I didn't have anything. So I hope you get through this winter okay, Michael, because I think if the weather is going to continue to be nuts and shifting constantly. Hi, Stacy again. Stacy, oh, you're in Canada. I love meeting friends from all over. I have quite a few Canadian followers, and I love you guys. But it's great to talk to people from all over the country and all over the world. Stacy said, I'm in Canada, no surgery. We have no Chiari specialist here. I do yearly MRIs. I've read tons on Chiari and surgeries. One day may try it and get to a Chiari conference. My neuro says my MRI is alarming. I'm sure a Chiari specialist will be interesting to see. I wonder if I had some of the other issues that seem to run hand in hand with this. Stacy, if you go to the Chiari conference in New York, let me know. I didn't know anything about it, so if you want to send me info on it, I'd love to check that out. I go to New York City a couple times a year, a few times a year sometimes if I'm lucky. So maybe I will attend as well and we can meet up. Let me know. And if you ever do get the opportunity to meet with a Chiari specialist, I recommend it. My herniation for the Chiari, my brain herniation wasn't that bad, but it definitely had potential to get worse. And it did grow when we finally found out that I had it and compared old MRIs. It did grow, in a relatively short period of time. So there is a chance that it could have, gotten worse. So I'm glad I got the surgery. Now, would I say the surgery was life-altering or life-changing for me? I don't know, because I don't know how bad off I would be if I hadn't gotten it. I'm very grateful that it went well. I feel very blessed, because obviously brain surgery and any kind of spine surgery is scary. It was one of the scariest things I've been through. I feel very strong that I went through it. Had I hoped for some miraculous type situation where I would never have migraines again and I would never have neck pain again, and my tinnitus, my ringing in my ears would completely go away, I wished for all that stuff, and not all of that improved, but a lot of things did improve for me. So I think that my levels of fatigue improved a little bit. I used to get numbness and tingling a lot in my hands and feet. That definitely improved. I used to have trouble swallowing sometimes, which was very scary. That improved. I used to have facial pain, which I still get occasionally, but that did improve. I would feel off balance, so I think that the balance issues improved a little bit. And also, I lost some temperature sensation in my one foot, and then that improved after my Chiari surgery as well. So although I still get migraines and still get ringing in my ears, the ringing in my ears isn't as constant. The migraines, they fluctuate, and the only thing that has gotten worse for me since the surgery is my neck pain, because I was not prescribed physical therapy or the right kind of physical therapy after my Chiari surgery, and I wasn't prescribed physical therapy soon enough after my surgery. So there were some issues that after my brain and neck surgery for the Chiari really probably could have been resolved and weren't, and it's not my surgeon's fault. He knew my medical history, but I don't know if he understood quite how bad it was. And his response was kind of like, oh, you're young, your body will heal, you don't really need PT. And, I listened to him, which, I don't know. I kind of felt in my heart that I needed physical therapy, but I'm not a doctor, so I trusted him. And I think he was a little bit pretentious? No, I don't know the word. Maybe just arrogant in his assumption, or ignorant that I didn't need physical therapy, and he was basing it mostly just on my age and that I looked relatively strong and fit and healthy. But my muscles in my neck had a really hard time bouncing back after the surgery, and I still have issues with that. But other than that, I guess I would advise the surgery, because if you let the Chiari go on too long, and it starts to protrude too much into your spinal cavity. I'm sure you've read about it, but it can cause a lot of damage and neurological issues, and I was worried about those future neurological issues and possibly partial paralysis and things like that. So I did it knowing that it was risky and knowing it might not help everything. So I think if you are going to get the Chiari surgery done, to go in it with an open mind and realistic expectations, knowing that it's not going to be a miracle. Something else to consider is that just because you have Chiari doesn't mean you need the surgery. And also how big or small your brain herniation is has really nothing to do with it. You could have a really large Chiari malformation, a really large herniation, and not need surgery, and you could have a really small one and need surgery. So they will take a lot into consideration. If you meet a surgeon who's like a chop shop type of surgeon that just does one Chiari surgery after the other, and he does it on every patient that comes in with Chiari, I'd avoid that. So when you're looking for a specialist, make sure you ask a lot of questions and have realistic expectations going into it. I saw 6 neurosurgeons before I settled on the doctor that performed my Chiari surgery. So that's just some advice for you. And I hope it helps. Michael, I think, went to bed, but a belated good night to you too, Mike. Yeah, this weather sucks. So we'll get through it, though. We always do. So who else is there? Anyone? If anyone else has any questions or comments, let me know. If not, I'm going to sign off soon and go to bed. You can probably hear my pug snoring in the background, so she's already sleeping. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk to you guys about. I don't know. I guess just maybe one more little anecdote and maybe a plug or two before I sign off, unless anyone else has a comment or question. Obviously, I will answer a comment or question if you have them. First, so I have a couple more things. The first thing is, for all of my winners of the Deep Blue Rub contest and the essential oil necklace and everything like that, I did not send your stuff out yet. I'm so sorry. I am tomorrow printing out the address labels for all the winners. I will mail out as much as I have in stock right now. I had to order some more Deep Blue Rub, so there's a little bit of a delay on that. So if you've won that or the tea, I will really try to get it out this or next week. I haven't been feeling great. I am trying. I am not screwing you guys over. You still are getting your Deep Blue Rub. You still are getting your tea. You still are getting your essential oils necklace. I've just been really bad about mailing that stuff out, and I had to order more of the Deep Blue Rub, so I apologize for that. But I have not forgotten about you winners. So please just be patient with me. So that's the first thing. The second thing was, check out my blog. I've written a few recent posts on arthritisashley.com. Trying to remember what they're all about, but one of them, sorry, that's my pug. One of the posts recently was about the autoimmune registry. One of them was about the notion of karma and illness. Do you think that karma causes illness, or that people ever deserve to be sick? One of them was about life not being about absolutes. So what I meant in that blog was kind of like, just because you are for something doesn't mean you are against something else, and just because you like something doesn't mean you dislike something else, or you know, things like that. You can go read the blog post. It'll do a better job of explaining it than me just telling you right now. One of the other ones was about kind of finding perspective in weird places. It's called A Walk in My Shoes or something along those lines. So you can check my new Arthritis Ashley blogs out. Those 4, I think, are the newest posts. They're up at arthritisashley.com. And I have a few other posts up on my other website, which is abshuck.com. That is more than just my Arthritis Ashley stuff. It's also my animal advocacy stuff, my work as a writer and a social media consultant, and an author. And it also has a lot about my husband's work as a teacher and personal trainer and American Ninja Warrior. So you can check out arthritisashley.com and abshuck.com for those items. My next post on arthritisashley.com is a follow-up. I didn't post it yet. I'm still working on it, but it's going to be a follow-up to one that I had previously written about how we sometimes mask our feelings about our life with illness to protect the feelings of others. So I really wanted to further expand upon this topic. So my next topic, or I should say my next blog post, will explore that, and also the feelings of sometimes inadequacy and guilt that can come along with chronic illness or disability. And what else? I wanted to recommend a blog post from a different blogger. I posted it on my Arthritis Ashley Facebook page yesterday, which it's probably past midnight now, so I posted it on Monday. It's by Hope Hope December, and her blog is, I think, Hopi Hippie. Well, I know she makes jewelry and art under that name, but you'll see it. Just scroll back a few posts. And basically, I posted something on my blog in response to her blog, and I think you should read both because it's really interesting. Her husband lives with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and she is his wife, of course, but also his caregiver. And, she expressed the challenges that come along with that. And, there was a lot in her blog post that I could relate to from both sides of the equation. So, the idea from maybe his perspective of feeling like a burden on the spouse, and feelings of resentment that can happen when you have one partner who is able and one who is disabled or ill. And then also on the flip side, talking about how, it's almost like when you live with an illness or adversity that people expect you to be more positive than the average person, which is ridiculous, and feeling guilty when you don't put up this perfect, positive, happy facade all the time. Because let's face it, it sucks. It's really hard to be sick or live with a disability. It's really hard if you're the patient, and it's also really hard if you're the spouse or the partner. And her blog talks about it from that perspective, which I really respect, because a lot of times I think our caregivers or spouses or our partners, significant others, parents, friends, they feel too guilty to express their feelings about our illnesses, because it does affect them too. And we as patients need to not be selfish and remember that our illnesses do affect other people, but at the same time, other people need to realize that our sickness isn't about them either. So we can't always tiptoe around our feelings either to protect their feelings. And this goes both ways. So it's not healthy for either party, either side of this equation, to hide their true feelings, because it's really hard to be sick, and it's really hard to deal with somebody in your life being sick. So I think that we need to be mindful of both sides of this and empathetic to other people in our lives, just as we would expect empathy and compassion and mindfulness from them. So check out Hope's blog. Actually, everything she writes is so poignant, so mindful, so real and honest and inspiring, and relatable in some ways. She's a great writer and just a great person. You can check out their story, Hope for Steve. They have a documentary, Hope for Steve, and a website, a nonprofit, Hope for Steve. You can Google that. She makes awesome artwork and mala beads and all kinds of cool, jewelry and art. And he's a great artist too. And they have a wonderful love story, but it's real. So check that out. If you want me to post link again, I will find it and do that tomorrow. And then last but not least, I can't remember what the last thing was, so I will end it. 1 second here. since I just so happen, I gotta say, I usually don't have a copy of my own book on my nightstand, but I had it out because I was giving it to somebody, and anyway, long story, I sent them a different copy, so it's still sitting here. So I'm gonna plug my book but right before I sign off, there you go. I have 3 books. This is one of them. There we go. It's called Sick Idiot. You might be offended by the title, but if you read the intro, you'll understand the title. So there you go. It's a quick, easy read. It's not too long. I've been told it's very funny. It's gotten great reviews, I'm proud to say. And this is my first nonfiction book, Sick Idiot. I don't have the other 2 in this room, but they are called Chronically Positive, which is also nonfiction, and To Exist, which is fiction. And I am working on a few other writing projects, and hopefully we'll have more books coming out in the future. So stay tuned for that. And as an FYI, a portion of proceeds from this particular book go to 10 different health-related charities. And I will list them for you right before I go to bed here for you. So a portion of proceeds from Sick Idiot go to these charities, and we give them a shout out and then go to bed. The Arthritis Foundation, the Lupus Foundation of America, the National Foundation for Celiac Awareness, the Chiari and Syringomyelia Foundation, I can never say that word, the Chiari Foundation we'll say, the Sjogren's Syndrome Foundation, the American Migraine Foundation, the American Autoimmune and Related Diseases Association, Stand Up to Cancer, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and the Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh. So if you buy a copy of this, a portion of the proceeds do go to charity. And I encourage everyone to share your favorite Sick Idiot moments on social media, hashtag Sick Idiot, and or post a selfie with the book. I love seeing selfies of people with my books. And I encourage you, if you've read any of my 3 books, to please, 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 please leave me a review on Amazon and or Goodreads and recommend them to your friends. That is all for tonight. Check out my blog, check out my website, check out my books, check out the Autoimmune Registry. Let me know if you want some info on essential oils. Check out Hope's blog. Again, her name is Hope December. Google Hope for Steve. You'll probably find her, and I'll try to reshare that post if I can remember. And I hope you all have a great night. Just making sure I didn't miss any comments here. Oh, real quick. So Stacy, yeah, if you get extreme dry mouth, it could be Sjogren's, it could be from a medication, or just dehydration, but it could be Sjogren's. Severe itchy eyes, I mean, that could be allergies or a number of things, but yeah, maybe ask your doctor about Sjogren's. Good night, guys. Everyone that said good night. Vicky, I don't believe karma causes illness either, but you can read about it in my blog post on Arthritis Ashley, and you'll see why I wrote about that. Vicky, yeah, it definitely is overwhelming. Yeah, feel free to check out my blog anytime. Thank you for your kind words. It is hard to find people that relate, and I really, really, really appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate your participation and your support. I hope you like my blogs, and if you decide to check out my books, I hope you like them too. You guys don't have to thank me. I enjoy sharing my story and sharing information. You're welcome, guys. You really don't have to thank me. It's so sweet, though, and I really do appreciate it. Like I said before, you know, sometimes I do little TV or radio appearances, or podcasts, you know, and nothing to get too excited over, but I do them occasionally, and I'm always, people always say, oh, you're so inspiring, blah, blah, blah. You help so many people. And it's great if I do, but to be honest with you, I always tell them, and I mean this 100%, and I say it a lot in these live chats, I feel like you all help me as much as I help you, and you all inspire me as much as I inspire you. So I thank you. You don't have to thank me. Maybe something I post or say or do or write helps you cope, but interacting with all you and knowing that I'm not alone helps me cope too. This is a two-way thing. So love and light to all of you. Big hugs from Pittsburgh, PA, USA. Keep tuning in, keep signing on, keep leaving comments. I love hearing from you guys. And even if I take forever to respond to messages or emails, and even if I take forever to send out prizes from giveaways, I apologize for that, by the way, but I appreciate you all so much, and I wish you all nothing but the best. So good night, sleep well, sweet dreams, and I am sending you all lots of healing vibes. Bye-bye.